Hello everybody, it's EzraTime here, and yeah, today is gonna be another different video than usual, because today I want to talk about or like a do movie review for the Realm of Terracotta, which is a Chinese animation movie, obviously, and I first heard or like found this movie by accident, to be honest, when there is a channel that posted back in last month, I think, where I was waiting for White Snake 2 to be released. I was looking a lot of like clips from the channel that posts that, and then one of the channel actually posted some clip from Realm of Terracotta, and apparently was this movie was released in June 2021 in China, and I think the international release date for this movie is November 7. I think November 7 this year. That's the international release date, if I'm not mistaken. But there's also some country that going to be releasing this movie online on between October and November, obviously. So like I don't know when you guys gonna able to watch this, but I guess we'll see about that, huh? um, but yeah, I watched it and I thought that well, I kind of want to do a movie review now because it is something different that what I usually do in the channel. It's not reaction the entire time. So and honestly, I'm enjoying it more at this right now. But yeah, let's get to the I would say the non-spoiler review first. Like I don't know if I'm going to do a spoiler review from this one because I don't think people really did watch the movie yet because again I think I have to wait until at least November 7 or like maybe several days after that. Giving time for people to actually watch the movie first and then I can talk spoilers. Just a tiny bit. At the same time, the spoilers that I want to talk about is just a tiny bit that it doesn't. That obviously is a spoiler, but I don't think it's really important. Like I don't know, it's really tough to explain. It's not. It's small, but kind of important. Let's just put it that way. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I don't. But let's get to the. This is the non-spoiler review, or like spoiler-free review, I guess. And I think there will be a timestamp if there is a section on the video. But yeah, first of all, let's just talk about the characters for Realm of Terracotta. So basically, the character is Meng Yan. This is the main characters. And I would say this, the Meng Yan is actually really similar to Hiccup Haddock from How to Train Your Dragon. Like he literally got the Hiccup vibe. You could say that because if you guys remember back in the first How to Train Your Dragon movie, Hiccup was not exactly this hot and tall or like good looking guy or like muscular looking guy. Like he's not a leader in the first movie. And in the first movie he just pretty much just a guy or like a Viking that works on weapons or like cleaning weapons. And guess what, Meng Yan's characters is literally cleaning weapons or making weapons for the army or something like that, right? And then guess what, again, in How to Train a Dragon 1, Hiccup wants to kill a dragon and prove that he can be a true Viking by killing a dragon. And obviously we know how that turned out, because everybody knows about How to Train Your Dragon at this point. um, and again, Meng Yan is also similar. Like he actually want to prove himself to become this soldier that he is actually tough, but like the other soldiers have like a really big and muscular body, but as you can see right here, he's just not really a muscular looking guy. He's just a skinny guy who just works at cleaning weapons or making weapons for the soldiers. Again, just like Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon. And I don't necessarily. I mean, when I first watched this movie, I kind of like really worried that this movie kind of borrows too much element from How to Train Your Dragon. But and like I think the first 10 or 15 minutes of this movie is kind of did, to be honest. And obviously, if you guys a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon, then you're gonna see the parallels or like the similarities between these two movies. And especially Meng Yan, as the main characters, like it's really similar. But at the same time, maybe there was his legend the entire time, and maybe I'm just comparing it because I this is the first time I experienced his story because I'm not really familiar with the Terracotta lore. You could say that. Um, but yeah, I don't necessarily mean that as a bad thing, to be honest, because eventually he become his own characters, even though again similar to Hiccup, but it's just it feels a bit more special, I guess, in some way. And that is I would say this. So there is another similarities as well, where if you guys remember in the How to Train a Dragon, like where Hiccup kind of do the hand thing, the hand thing, like Fist like said in the TV series, like do the hand thing, with the dragon, right? Like Meng Yan literally did the same thing with the creature in this movie, because there is an underground creature that actually quote unquote the main villain, quote unquote. And like he literally do the same thing, like he's reaching his hand to the creature and then the creature is just like obviously growling and try to bite his hand, and then eventually got tamed by it and then let Mengyan touch him. You know, like he basically do the hand thing like hiccup, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is so similar. And whether you're gonna feel that as a good or bad thing, well, I guess it's up to you because I just like, oh, like, oh my god, this is like a scene from How to Train a Dragon, and it's not really positive, but it's not really negative as well. Like I'm kind of neutral with it, to be honest. Like I know this is really similar to that, but it's just like, yeah, whatever. I guess it's there. Um, and the other main characters like is actually this girl named CU. I think I hope I don't mispronounce that. Oh, hang on a second, guys. But basically she's really, I would say she's really probably not really super interesting characters in my opinion, but she's not bad. Okay, I'm not saying she's bad, but it's just I think like her backstory, like you probably kind of predict there some in some capacity, but it's not really negative. I still really like her characters, and I think like her chemistry with Meng Yan is actually really really good. And I guess you guys could guess in the first time, if you guys watch the trailer anyway, like these two will eventually become lovers, obviously. And which bring me to my next point, like and this movie also has some similarities with White Snake 2, sorry, White Snake the first one, because yeah, it tells like a couple, obviously. In one state it was Sushan and Xiaobai, which is actually a demon and a human, obviously. And this one is like Xiyu is a normal human being, and then Mengyan is like a statue. I guess you could say a statue from underground. And this whole movie actually took place underground. So like when people say like, oh, there is a sky above the sky, there is a ground above below the ground. Like that's really how the movie started. That monologue, you could say that. And yeah, like Xiyu is just a human, normal human being, and then Mangyan is just a statue that comes to life, literally. And that's what I mean by the similarities. And I would say this though, the chemistry between them is actually really well done. But at the same time, I kind of wish there is more to it, to be honest, because I'm not saying that as a negative thing, because I feel like I enjoy the chemistry so much that I wish there would be more of that. And I still like her as a character. Obviously, I think I like her design, obviously. And you know and fun fact, guys, like she's actually the first character that really attracted me to see this movie, because well, the first clip that I actually watched on this particular channel that I just happened to bump into is actually where Mengyan see you reveal her face, or like her mask got torn off, and then Mengyan see her that she's actually like a beautiful girl, and then from that clip I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I kind of want to see that now. I kind of want to see this movie. I kind of want to see this movie because seems interesting, I guess you could say that. And yeah, she's definitely a good character. Like she might not be super interesting, but she does the job for the movie. And like I said before, Mengyan and Shinju, obviously good chemistry. um and like I said, there is some pretty sad stuff happen as well, like it's just especially with the ending, obviously. And yeah, it's just like, anyway, before we get to that ending, I want to talk about the other stuff as well, because we talk about the characters, but the story was obviously, again, like How to Train a Dragon. Mengyan is trying to go out there to the outside world, trying to kill this underground monster. I'm just gonna call him underground monster because I think that's what they call it in the movie. And they like he essentially bumped into Siyu, obviously, because he needs to hunt this underground creature. And on the way he was hunting it, he Mengyan meets Siyu, obviously, and then that's where the journey start. This movie also has a nine-tailed fox demon, which is a different version. And unlike the white snake version, which is like super sassy and super like barefoot and all that kind of stuff, this version of the nine-tailed fox demon is actually like a really small, like floating, like fox slash cat at the same time, because his face looks like a cat but also looks like a fox in some way. And then obviously this is a he, by the way. The nine-tailed fox demon is a he in this movie. He actually smoked like white snake too. White snake fox demon. And I thought it was like, whoa, like reminding me of that, huh? Just having a fun time, obviously. And then I would say this, like the nine-tailed fox demon is a really convenient character, to be honest, and not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, when you actually see him in this movie, and then you probably think that, wow, like there is some point you guys probably think that, wow, this is really convenient, to be honest. Really really convenient characters, you could say that. And either way, I still enjoy his presence, even though he's not really prominent in the movie, but once he's appeared, like, yeah, I mean, you could remember him, and especially the design is very different, obviously, um, from the White Snake one. And I meant that as a compliment. Obviously, I'm glad they're not just copying the same stuff, even though, well, he smokes, obviously. But I think maybe All Holy Jing, which is the Chinese name of it, maybe All Holy Jing is actually smoking pipe or something in the human form. You could say that. I don't know. But in this one, there is no human form. Like he can transform into multiple different people. You could say that, just undercover basically to helping Mungyan. And then that's why I'm saying that the nine-tailed fox demon in this movie is convenient, to be honest. um, and yeah, and the best stuff about this movie, that even though I said that it's similar to White Snake and How to Train Your Dragon, it still managed to be its own movie in some way, especially when you actually get deeper and deeper to the story. Like, again, the first 10 to 15 minutes feels like a How to Train Your Dragon, and it might turn you off when you actually first watching it, but once Mangyam basically leave his hometown, his city, and actually go outside and try to hunt this creature, and then obviously he might see you. That's where the movie really starts to hold on its own. And this movie also have a great action sequences, like, again, like White Snake 2. And it was remembering White Snake 2, the final fight is like really long and then really epic. You're gonna experience the same thing in this movie. Like the third act, or like the final fight in this movie, it's actually really like long. Well, not really long, but it's pretty long. And I don't really man that as a bad thing, because again, there's just so many interesting thing happen in the final battle, at least for me. And I really enjoyed the final battle, and I was like, oh my god, this is like White Snake 2, the first White Snake, where you actually have a really epic final fight scene. And this movie really delivers that in the end. And yeah, it's great. It's really great, and yeah, and I think there is gonna be a sequel to this movie. I think because I feel like, again, I guess I'm just gonna put a spoiler territory here. So again, there will be a timestamp, so you guys can check out the multiple section, I guess you could say that, for the video, so you guys can easily navigate through it. But we're in the spoiler section now. So the ending of this movie, basically, CEO technically die, because when Mungyan actually, basically, there is the bad guy, obviously, kind of like stab CEO in the stomach and then throw her into like a cliff, right? And then Mungyan is trying to, like, like, grab my hand, and all that kind of stuff. And then but sadly, their grip is, lost, basically. Like, CEO basically fall to the cliff, like, fall to the cliff, obviously. And the ending of this movie really, really, really sticks with me in some way, kind of like the ending of the first White Snake movie, where even though the ending was like Xiaobai and Suxia meet again, it still sticks with me. And then I'm just like thinking about it for like a long time, and really messing with my emotions, obviously. And this movie kind of nailed that with the ending, because again, Siu basically dies. I thought that she's gonna come back, and then the movie just like, oh, like, she's not actually dead. That's what I'm hoping the movie is trying to do. But guess what? We didn't get that. Basically, the movie ends with like Mengyan, and then this funny goat, and then this funny creature who is flying using his ear. I don't know what the creature is called. I forgot. I forgot. Sorry. Basically, Mengyan really optimistic, and just like, I made a promise to see you that I'm going to her hometown and actually find her family. And then that's where the movie basically, that's actually the mid credit scene, by the way, I think. And then they begin their journey basically. And it's just like, I'm just like, oh, like, oh, that's it. Like, wow, really? Like, see you actually die? Like, what the hell? Like, that's so sad. Like, why would you do that? Because there is a scene in this movie where Mernyan is actually, quote unquote, dying, but the nine-tailed fox demon again save him by giving this power, awesome supernatural power. And then he was revived, and then he was saved basically, and then defeat the bad guy. And I thought the nine-tailed fox demon is going to do the same thing with Siyu. I thought Siyu is going to appear suddenly behind Mengyan, and then they both fight the bad guy again, and in the actual final fight. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but that didn't happen apparently. And I was really surprised when we never see Siyu again. And I think that's why I was like, oh my god, I hope she wasn't dead, because there is a line by the nine-tailed fox demon that, to Mengyan, that, oh, Mengyan, if you actually don't let like cannot let go see you, then you're gonna hurt your heart, obviously. You're gonna hurt your feelings. And that kind of like feels like an ambiguous thing for me, because I feel like that could have been like saying that, oh, she is actually alive out there, maybe got well, it wasn't reincarnated, but like maybe she got healed or something like that, but because she was fall into the cliff, then maybe she got washed away to a different location, and then maybe it's hard to find, and maybe she actually forget about Mengyan, and then that's why the nine-tailed fox demon warned him that, you know what, don't chase her too far because you're gonna hurt your feelings. Which to be honest, I think I'm probably reaching here because I just want her to be alive. Or number two is that, you know, like, well, she is dead, so you might as well let her go, and then try not to think about her the whole time because you're gonna get hurt by it, obviously, mentally. Which I think the latter, like, is gonna be the right one. I think Siri is actually dead, and there is no way for her to come. Maybe she's gonna come back in the future somehow in the sequel, and you know, like maybe she lost her memory or something like that because you gotta create a drama, right? In the sequel, and yeah, I think I really hope that she is still alive somehow in the sequel, because I think this movie really allowed to a sequel because the movie also give a hint that who's gonna be the next bad guy in the next movie, because there is another bad guy that was introduced in this movie, but it's only for like 10 minutes, you know, and then you thought that the main character is just defeated him. You thought he's just gonna be like a side characters, but no, like he actually survived in the end, and kind of planning a revenge to these two, obviously. So we kind of has some teasers that who's going to be the next bad guy, and obviously Mangyan's promised to Siyu that, you know, he's going to her hometown and then actually find Siyu's family to deliver something, I guess, like the rock that Mangyan give to Siyu. And you know, like the movie kind of ended in a positive note, but I don't really feel that positive, to be honest. And I'm not saying that, oh, the movie is bad or anything, like, no, like it's like the ending is just never really addressed Siyu, and I thought that, well, oh no, like she's actually dead, like, no, like, come on, man, don't do this, you know. And that's why I'm saying that it really sticks with me in the, you know, the ending. And yeah, I guess if I have to rate this movie, I probably should give the rating in the non-spoiler review. Sorry, guys, forgot about that. I just immediately went to the spoiler review. But if I have to rate this movie, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really good movie, by the way. And I really wish we got a sequel to this. Again, really, it got really a great third act, and then sure, some of the elements was really really similar to How to Train Your Dragon and White Snake in general, obviously, but it still managed to become its own movie. I think it doesn't really borrow too much element from it. There's some elements that was borrowed, obviously, but I feel like not too much that you can call this like a copying, or like, you know, or this is just a Chinese version of How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, it kind of is, but not really at the same time. It kind of feels unique at the same time, right? So that's why I'm just like, yeah, this movie kind of stands on its own and it's great, you know. And again, have a great action sequences, great characters in my opinion, and great animation. Even though some of the animation kind of feel jarring a bit, but for the most part, it's great, you know. And yeah, I think that's my review for this movie. And have you guys watched this movie? If you guys already did, then you guys can let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this movie right here, Realm of Terracotta? Do you guys love it? You know, do you guys see the similar element from How to Train a Dragon and White Snake in general? You know, I think it's kind of obvious, right? If you're a big fan of How to Train a Dragon, then I think you're gonna notice that elements in this movie. I'm just saying. And yeah, if you guys already watched the movie, but I don't think most of you most of you probably didn't watch the movie because it hasn't been released yet until November 7, like I said before. So I probably gonna make another video like in November when the movie was released. Depends if this movie was actually blowing up and then gaining a cult following like White Snake, the first White Snake does, you know, like where it's like always blowing up once it was released internationally and basically got this recognition by like Light Chaser Studio, right? So I'm wondering if it's going to be the same with Realm of Terracotta. Maybe it is. Well, we'll see what happens. If people actually really like this movie, then I will probably make another video to talk about it in November when people actually or already watch the entire movie, so we can have a discussion, obviously. But at this point, well, if you guys already watched the movie, then leave me your thoughts about it in the comment section below. If you haven't, well, I guess I suggest you guys watch it or like waiting for it to come out, obviously, either on theaters or maybe on, you know, online, obviously, like on the internet, like maybe somehow. I highly recommend you guys watch this movie. I really do, you know, and because I really enjoy it, I guess you could say that. And yeah, I think that's it for today's movie review. I think the next video is gonna be another movie review as well, because I'm actually enjoying doing this type of stuff now, because again, it's really different from what I usually do. It's not really a reaction video, obviously. But it's just talking about my opinions about certain things, especially now it's movies. So I actually enjoy it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. And actually respect my decision and not just asking for FNAF the entire time. You know, and yeah, I guess if you guys enjoy this video, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff. Ring that notification bell, share my videos. Really helps the channel, guys. And yeah, I'm really curious to see what you guys think about this movie right here, because I enjoy it. What do you guys think about it? I really, really curious. So again, don't forget your comments if you guys already watched the movie. Leave your opinions and maybe your review as well. What's the good and the bad thing about this movie? Feel free to share that if you guys already watched the movie, obviously. And yeah, and I think again the next one is gonna be another movie reviews, guys. So stay tuned for that. And again, I really hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.